you need to lean forward in your squat. So, the two things we look for when people are squatting are one, making sure the bar stays over your midfoot. So that's going to be roughly where my laces is tied, and that's the middle of my foot. If the bar is forwards of that, it's going to tip me forwards. If the bar is backwards of that, it's going to tip me backwards. And number two, we look for depth. So making sure the hip crease is at least beneath the knees. To ensure that, you do need to lean forward in your squat. Now this will depend on what's called your anthropometrics. So essentially like the relationship in body regions between one another. So if I have particularly long femurs versus my tib fib versus my torso, I am going to squat very differently to someone who has very short femurs in relationship to my tib fib and my torso. So bear that in mind, not everybody's squat is going to look the same. So that does mean that then you need to play around with where the bar is on your back. I will demonstrate everything in a second. So first of all, just simply leaning forward. If I weren't to do that, I will have to come up onto my toes. Even when I stay relatively tall, I still have a little bit of a lean forward. If I were to come to my toes, you're going to see me now stay much more upright. But that's going to make my squat impossible. Well, impossible to load particularly heavy because I'm essentially off balance with my heels lifted. So once again, I need to lean forward to make sure the bar stays over my midfoot. So that is where my center of mass is going to be most balanced. Now, if someone has particularly long femurs, they are going to send their hips backward and lean forward even more. To make up for that, we can do what's called a low bar squat. Now it's going to be crossing me at my midfoot, despite leaning forward more and sending my hips back more. For someone with shorter femurs, they might be able to stay in what's called a high bar position, where I've got the bar mostly on my traps, and I'm not going to lean forward as much. And the squat will look a bit more like that. A couple things to play around with. One, how much to lean forward, and two, where to place the bar. That should help you in your squat.